So I've finally been getting around to playing Red Dead Redemption 2 while taking a break from my usual Skyrim modded builds, and while exploring the old American West, I realized just how different the experience of horseback riding was compared to the fantasy land of Skyrim. Whether it's the variety, skills, or combat, the four-legged companions operate quite differently in these two games. So today we're going to be comparing the buff, double C thick horses of Skyrim to the vulnerable, yet companion-like horses of Red Dead Redemption 2. Starting with the good old hardy horses of Skyrim, for this video we'll be using the standard 3 DLC versions of Skyrim to compare, as Anniversary Edition is much more modded than it is DLC. In that version you have things like Dwarven or Daedric horses, but we're just going to stick to these ones. Plus, more people may have experience with the non-AE version of Skyrim because, I mean, you can only get someone to buy the same game again and again and again so many times, right? Right? Anyway, in Skyrim we have 4 types of horses. Standard, which comes in a variety of styles but all have the same stats. Arvak, the immortal summonable horse found within the Soul Cairn. Shadowmere, the mascot steed of the Dark Brotherhood. And Frost, the first specialty horse many will come across in the cold, harsh lands of Skyrim. Meanwhile, in Red Dead you have 19 different breeds of horses, which I won't show all here, but a few are American Standard Bred, Hungarian Half-Bred, Morgan Horse, and Shire Horse. Not only are there various breeds, but in Red Dead it also categorizes their horses into types based on specialties such as Workhorse, Warhorse, Racehorse, and more. Some of these horses being faster or being able to sprint longer than others. In terms of mobility, Skyrim horses can be used to literally scale mountainsides. I'm talking almost completely vertical, while Red Dead horses on the other hand, well,
keep me good. Hey there, man. Get along, you good for nothing. We can't risk leading Cornwall's men to camp. That horse seems to be good with you. How could you lose to that mangy thing? Right then. Take that.
okay, so that might be on me as the rider, but Red Dead definitely takes the cake on realism in this category, but Skyrim is literally a game of dragons and magic, so I don't hold that against it too much. Now, combat is where things get really interesting. In combat, the Skyrim horse is just like any other follower you have in the game, and for the most part will have your back in any battle. Their different horses have different perks to using them in battle though. Standard is just that, the usual deal. They have your back and will stomp a target until they stop moving. So for this, I took each horse and had them fight a pack of wolves to see just how they do. Frost is slightly better than Standard with its high stamina, but for the most part just seems like a custom skin with only slightly improved stamina. Shadowmere has the highest health and incredible health regen compared to the other horses, and for this reason is known to be used as an exploit to raise stats such as one-handed, since you can repeatedly strike the horse without risking damaging it too often. Arvak is probably one of the best horses to use in combat, since this underworld steed is able to be summoned anywhere you'd be able to summon any other form of conjurable undead, Daedra, or Atronach, you get it. Unfortunately, he still goes away after 60 seconds, but it's nothing to bring him right back out to help you finish the job. All 4 horses handled the pack of dogs with no trouble, and even chased down the single remaining wolves to finish the job. The same absolutely cannot be said in the case of Red Dead 2. In this game, you quickly understand horses are crucial to the way of life in the Old West.
My horse up and died on me, twisted my ankle something fierce. Think you could give me a ride?
Yeah, sure. Hop on.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
From carriages to seeing NPCs hauling various items, you yourself can even use your horse to store extra weapons you may not want on your character's person for aesthetic or menu navigation purposes. I mean, there's nothing like taking down a buck while riding your horse then throwing its parts onto the back while you make your way to the butcher. However, when it comes to actual support during combat, well, you better be ready, because when you're getting attacked, the horses in Red Dead turn a blind eye like Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles playing a game of I Spy in the middle of the ocean in the dead of night. They are no help. Under the same circumstances of a wolf attack, my horse ran for the hills and left me to fend for myself like a latchkey kid in an underfunded group home. I was alone. But even though my horse was ready to let me die and feed me to the wolves, there's one thing Skyrim doesn't have over Red Dead, and that's the immersive companionship that they offer. You can brush, feed, and even pat your horse to show it your appreciation, and if you have a few bucks laying around, you can customize that baby like a cowboy exhibit in an episode of Pimp My Ride. From saddles, stirrups, to the tail in your horse, RDR2 gives you a lot of customizable features. They got so into it that they have wild horses roaming that you yourself have to find, catch, calm, and tame to claim ownership. Or of course, just buy them. Just, keep an eye out for wolves because again, you're on your own. So tell me, if life was a video game, which version of horses would you want to exist? The battle-ready, unfed horses of Skyrim? Or the real but sexy steeds of Red Dead Redemption 2? Leave a comment with your answer and like this video to show a little support because monetization is around the corner, baby. And as always, subscribe, much love, and be safe out there.